Malcolm, we're going to start with you. Wow, this performance for you, you were riding with absolute fire. And I know that you're good at elevation in these conditions, but it seemed like it was more than that, right?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Just these last 2 weeks is being up in altitude. Was I don't know what it was, but the fans and stuff, Denver fans and then Salt Lake City fans, they were hyping me up. So when I got into second place for a split second, I couldn't hear my motorcycle again. So just gave me some flashbacks of back in like 2022. So other than that, it was a great race. We tried to do the best we could, and I'm just glad to end this on a second.
Great work today, and we'll hear from our second place runner, Justin Cooper, and Chase Sexton. Can we welcome him to the room? Chase, how proud of you are you of today's performance? You did your job, gave it all you had in a perfect day.
Yeah, I think today I did what I needed to do. Obviously, I came up short, which is a bummer. It's a tough pill to swallow, but honestly, Cooper had a great season. I won 7 races, and he still beat me by 3 or 4 points. So that's pretty crazy, and just goes to show how consistent he is and how good of a competitor he is. So congrats to him. And yeah, it stings. It's definitely a harder pill to swallow. I knew I had a long shot to win, but until that checkered flag came out and I realized I wasn't the champ, and Coop won, it hit pretty hard. So it's tough, but like I said, we'll come back next year. And I think this year we became a much more complete rider and was definitely I learned from my mistakes. So I'll take that and head into outdoors.
Congratulations on the win and a great season, Chase Sexton. We'll open it up to questions from the media. Chase?
Jason from Gypsy Tales. This is going to be for Jacob and you, Malcolm. You guys both at the end of the season both found a lot of form. That kind of put you in an awkward position where you're kind of in the championship battle and affecting points. Your teammate is the guy that eventually won the championship, and you train with him every single day, year on year on year. So there's a real relationship there. What was that balance like, knowing that you both had teammates in the championship fight, and how hard was that to manage while you're also having some of the best results of your career?
It's pretty fun. It's cool to battle with these guys. They're going for a title, obviously. They have a lot on the line, and just to be part of it is special, I think. And yeah, for me, coming into form at the end of the season was important for me, and just ending it this way with 3 straight podiums is pretty cool for me. And it helps a lot. Had a little bit of a rough start to the season, so to end it this way is cool. And yeah, I gotta give it up to those 2. They've been riding unreal. They're like 1-2 every weekend, so to even get up there and mix it up with them is fun, and it's special.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what Jay Coop said is it was awesome to kind of be in that battle, and I kind of felt like Jay Coop was in having mixed feelings last weekend whenever he was like fast enough to at least get second, but at the end of the day, he kind of having you obviously you don't want to pass your teammate like that, hurt the championship. So this weekend, I'm like, I learned from a mistake last weekend. I'm like, I know he ain't going to just try to pass him up straight up. And I felt like Jay Coop, once I got around him, he was like, all right, I got to go. So at the end of the day, we did the best we can. And it's just glad that me and him are just being talked about, right? Sometimes you feel like you just kind of get under that table and nobody really talks about you. But, us to be up here and at least having a fighting chance for third overall is awesome. And that's a career for both of us.
Jacob, did you get a second place bonus last weekend?
I did not. I wish I did.
I think you should advocate for that. Advocate for yourself, yeah.
Alex.
Hey, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Malcolm, you had a rebuilding year last year, and then this season's really been exceptional for you. So how much of just that added boost is it for you to finish the year on the podium here in Salt Lake?
It was awesome. Last year, I just felt like we were just in a massive roller coaster coming off that knee injury, and just had to get better and better. And I kind of just felt like I was just overthinking things, and that's what happens. Your expectations, you think you're just gonna be up there, and you get humbled really quick. So I felt like coming into this year, I did get humbled. Actually, Anaheim 1 kicked it off pretty hard. So other than that, it was just kind of keep moving forward. And then Tampa is like kind of felt like when I turned it around a little bit and went getting my first win. And everybody always says, like, once you get your first win, it's an eye-opener, right? Like, you can do it once, you can do it again. And I tried everything I can to kind of get back up here, and it's just good to, again, end this final race on a podium, and we take it outdoors and have fun with that. So it's hopefully all the group of guys will be back for outdoors, and it'll be more fun.
Adam.
Adam from Track Talkers. This one's for Chase Sexton. You said after the finish line, it hit pretty hard. You had an up and down season. You definitely had some bike setup that you were working on, having a fan on your bike, not having a fan on your bike. We've seen everything that happened in Dallas, that mental hurdle that you had to get over. For you, what was like the biggest accomplishment, and what are you most happy about this season that you improved on?
Yeah, the season started off great. I won 2 of the first 4 races and felt like I was in a really good spot. And then we just started having some little issues, and it affected me quite a bit as well. I just lost a lot of confidence, and obviously that's a lot on me. But I just honestly, after I don't know what race was it, but after one of the races, I said it's like you gotta stop like feeling sorry for yourself. You gotta go out there and do the job. And I think that was when I kind of kicked it into gear and was able to just start winning races. And I really started to believe in myself again. I feel like every year you kind of start over. And I obviously was successful in the beginning of the season, but then when I hit that rough patch, it was really difficult to pull myself out. And I'm proud that I did, and I'm happy. I broke my record for race wins this year. I got 7 instead of 6, so that was a little goal tonight, obviously, that I wanted to achieve. And yeah, when I crossed the finish line, you never really believe it's over until it's actually over. And I like I said, it was a long shot that I was going to win, but I had faith that if I go out there and do my job, there's a possibility that something can happen. And with how technical the track was, there was a lot of guys riding good today, and there were some new guys that I thought maybe could mix it up, but wasn't quite the case. So, but yeah, I'm really proud of how I bounced back, and yeah, got a little dark there mid-season, but we came out of it.
Congrats.
Dan.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports, for Justin. And it was going to be for Malcolm also, but Malcolm, you kind of already answered this question. Was there a strong sense of deja vu with the 3 combatants for second place in the closing laps? And once Malcolm got around, you came quickly. You kind of lost the little bit of politeness, rightly so, and got around Cooper really fast. Were you doing the points in your head? Was that all planned?
I kind of had an idea where the points are at least for myself. But, yeah, when Malcolm got, remembering back, I think he got him before the triple, and Coop actually didn't jump it. So I think I was able to just, go up the inside of him in the next turn. But, yeah, for me it was kind of just, it was tough to pass, I feel like, and I didn't really want to make an aggressive move on Coop. And, yeah, I just was trying to be, respectful. And, but once Malcolm got around him, I kind of just decided it was time to go and go with Malcolm. But, yeah, I didn't really have much for Malcolm. He was riding great and could only really match his pace tonight.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now. Chase, I know you've said that you want to race respectfully, and you did. Congrats to that. But was there a moment where it just passed through your mind to try and bunch up or to make an aggressive pass on Cooper? Knowing it is for the 450 championship, I don't think any of us would have blamed you for doing that.
I think if the situation would have presented itself, I would have. But like I said, there was a big difference between getting 5th and 6th. I think this year, just with the lack of not the lack of depth, but I think seeing a lot of guys going out, and obviously these 2 next to me, I knew were going to be good. But then after that, I feel like there was kind of a gap, and it wasn't there for me to bunch the race up, and I didn't really get a chance to make an aggressive move. Obviously, Cooper is smart. He's not going to put himself in a position to let me make an aggressive move. So obviously, I just told myself, see where I come out at the start. The start was kind of sketchy, so I didn't really know how it was going to play out. If Cooper got a bad start or something could have happened, but I was the one that got the bad start. So after the start, I was like, yeah, he's first. I don't really have much of a chance, but just went out there and tried to win and see what happened behind me.
We're going to welcome in our online media to the conversation, starting with Jamie.
Jamie Guido, Vital MX. Chase, I'm going to go back to you. You talked about it being, some dark times and kind of figuring yourself out throughout the season. Now you got to shift gears for outdoors. Is that going to be an easy shift after how taxing this season's been?
It's kind of crazy because I feel like every championship I've raced in the last couple of years, I faced somebody new. Like it's not always the same guy. And it seems like I always get thrown up against guys that are either taking the season off before that or are coming back fresh or whatever it is. So I think for me, I made a lot of progress in the last couple months. So I plan on taking that to outdoors. I had a really good day of riding outdoors on Tuesday, and I'm really confident. And I'm excited to go back and have all these guys coming back in, Eli, Jet, Hunter, Jorge. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm definitely got limitless motivation at this point.
Awesome. Thanks.
I have time for one more. Brent Bowser.
Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. My question's for Jay Coop. Jay Coop, obviously good end of the season this year. Your second year in the 450 class, stacked some podiums. Obviously, good starter. You showed speed all year. Going in the outdoors, which I'm sure you're pretty excited for. How do you feel on the 450 going outdoors this year, and are you excited for the summer?
Yeah, I haven't had too many days on the bike outdoors, but yeah, we've been doing our fair share of testing, trying to find a setup, and yeah, really excited for outdoors. I feel like I've always preferred outdoors, especially on the 250. So I had a good year last year, rookie season. So yeah, looking to build on that, of course. And yeah, I think we're in a good spot heading into outdoors, and just yeah, motivated for that, and time to put this season behind us in Supercross and shift the full focus to the summer.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. We'll see you in Paula. Congratulations tonight. Chase Sexton, Malcolm Stewart, Justin Cooper, your top three. And where are we going from here? Like these gentlemen said, we're taking it outdoors to Paula Fox Raceway 2 weeks from today. For tickets and event information, please see promotocross.com. Up next, we're going to hear from your 450 champion, the three-time champ, Cooper Webb. If you'll give us just one moment. I know. Who does he think he is? And I know we have a large audience tuned in live on YouTube. Those of you in the room, you already know this, but for those watching online, in case you don't already know, this is not where the championship ends. The Supercross championship has come to a finale, but from here on out, 11 rounds of Pro Motocross, and then you cannot miss our World Championship finals. 2 rounds of playoffs and the final at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to start out in September at ZMAX Dragway in Concord, North Carolina, followed by the Dome at America Center in St. Louis, Missouri. We're very excited to see a unique track layout. Previously, we've raced there for Supercross, and like I mentioned, to pay it off in a big way at the drag strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in September. We're just live chilling right now. This is where I'm going to start calling on names and put the media on the spot to be asked questions.
Oh, hell yeah.
There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the three-time champ, Cooper Webb. Cooper, congratulations. Please take us under the helmet, that final lap, final corner, the moment you knew, I'm a three-time champion. What was going through your mind?
A lot of relief, man. It's a lot of work that goes into this, a lot of passion, a lot of just everything. So just a sigh of relief. I mean, I was fired up at the beginning, wanted to go get a win, and then it's almost like it settles in and you're like, all right, just don't mess up. And, yeah, it was a great race. Just, put myself in a position to cruise in, and it's mainly just a sigh of relief. Like I said on the podium, I've had a lot of 3 a.m. nights thinking about how I can win this damn thing again, and here we are.
Congratulations. Cooper Webb, the champ. Now we'll open it up to questions from the media, sir.
Justin Schuler, Trans World Motocross. Coop, congratulations. Chase kind of talked about this a little bit, but obviously now we're shifting to outdoors in a couple weeks, so celebration short as you start to go after another championship for outdoors. But for him, he learned a lot from competing against you. That's a 1v1 battle. Now you've got a lot of guys coming back, points all reset.
I'm going to stop you. I don't care about outdoors. Right now, I've said it in 2019. I said it in 21. Supercross champ, I don't give a crap, bro.
Well, I guess what's the biggest thing that you've learned from this championship battle, especially over the last 5 weeks?
Just being in it, right? You gotta stay in it. You gotta stay present. You gotta stay focused. You gotta apply yourself every weekend, especially against Chase. Like he said, I think he really turned it on there at the end, and I had a great season. But when he was on, he was on. But it's hard, these last few when you have a lot on the line. You got to be good, but you don't want to put yourself in a vulnerable spot. So I think for me, it was something that, you push hard, but you're also wise and you put yourself in good position. So it's been a little bit stressful. It's never easy. It's never, the funnest times, these closing stages, but it feels great when you get to this point.
Michael.
Thanks, Haley. Michael Antonovich with Course Heading, Cooper. To go back to November, when we were flying back from Paris Supercross and talking to you there, and then you went to Australia, had that little bit of a wrist injury, and then the SMX Media Days, you could tell that you wanted this, and you told us in that room that day how much you knew the window was closing and how much this was going on. For the last 7 months, can you take us through what was the breakout moment where you're like, I got it, I know I have this thing right now?
It was a tough off season, man. With the injury I had last year and all that, and I like you said, I had some great off season races, but some ups and downs. And I mean, I had a crash in the off season that set me back a little bit. So it was more of just I went all in this year. I think like Rich said in his interview, we had an interview and we sat down for coffee, and he told me I was fat and I need to get my shit together. And I said, you're right. And I made it a priority. I put all head forward. I woke up every day, grinded. I got to give it up to my team. Everyone says it, but they truly push me to be the best version of myself every day. My teammates, my training partners. Jacob has been very underestimated as a training partner and teammate, and he pushes me every day. And just the people we have with Swanee and my physio guy, PJ back home, like we go all in every day, and that's what Star expects from you, and I love it. And that's what made me, put myself in this position. And it's not, it's not fun and picture perfect every day, but this moment right here makes it worth it.
Dan.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. Was it at all difficult to race smartly today, especially tonight, especially when you were embroiled in the same three-way battle that you were embroiled with last week?
It was, and you never know, right? Like I was a little bit timid of maybe, I knew if I was in Chase's situation, what I would probably do. With that being said, I was a little mindful of it, so I had to be smart there. You want to be on the attack mode, but you also, like I said, I gave myself that buffer and that opportunity, and those two behind me were battling for third place in the championship, and I knew that was happening. So obviously once I kind of knew where everything was playing down, I just kind of rolled over a little bit, took my fourth, and everyone's happy. J. Coop gets third, I get the first, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Jace.
Coop, I got 2 questions. One's serious and one's unserious. Which one would you like first?
We'll do serious then unserious.
All right. So you are now a 3-time Supercross champion. James Stewart has 2. Chad Reed has 2. There's a whole bunch. Tomac has 2. Like, there's a whole bunch of dudes that have only ever managed to get 2 championships. And I think you've said it of yourself in the past that you might not be the fastest, you might not have the physical attributes of some of these other guys, but have you had a chance at all to really reflect on just how insane it is to be a 3-time champion in this era of Supercross? You won your first championship in 2019. It is now 2025.
That's, I think, the biggest thing, like you said, right? The time gap, right? In 19 and 21, it was almost like you're programmed, and I'm just at Eldon's, and we're grinding, and, you know, it was great. And the competition was super stiff, but things were coming at me just almost too good sometimes, right? Like, you take a win for granted because we were clicking so much. So that's what really makes this one stand out, was the time gap, the injuries, 2022 season that was, you know, ridiculously bad. So like I said, to fight through all that, to come close in 23, to come close last year, to do it at 29 years old, 3-time is like, it's a dream. Honestly, that's the easiest way to say it. And I'm hopefully I can keep going and keep it going. But at 29, you never know, right? And these kids are fast. So I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm going to put myself in these situations every year. I know I'm a gamer and I can do it. So I'm going to go as long as I can. But like you said, to get this third one means the world, and especially now as a dad and as a father and on another team. You know, I think that's huge for me. These are the guys that gave me my first ever shot as a pro, and to repay Bobby Reagan and Brad and these guys with 450 championship means a lot.
Yeah, it's literally a Hall of Fame night. Like, you don't ever have to race Supercross again, and that's a Hall of Fame career. So
I appreciate that.
Unserious one now. I've heard legendary stories of pre-race championship nights in this city in particular, where the semi-doors get closed. It's just the Carolina boys inside the rig, and there's some real shenanigans that go on. Are you a little bit too old for that now, or do you get that same crew around you, get the vibes as high as possible? What was tonight's championship like in the rig before this main event?
It was still fun. You know, obviously we're older and wiser, but I have the same crew with me. We just are all dads. So it's pretty funny, and we were vibing, and music was blaring, and those boys were hammering beers just like the good old days. And but yeah, it's cool to, you know, to have like a lot of everybody that was in my wedding is here today, and I'm the only child, so they're like my brothers, you know, and to have them is super special, and just my family and just everyone here, right? And you're nervous. You're like, I haven't done it yet, guys. Like, if I fail, I'm gonna look like an idiot. So, but it's fun. Like you said, tonight we'll enjoy it. Obviously, not like my old 17, 18, 19-year-old days, but we're gonna sit back and enjoy it with the kids and the wife and the friends and family that we have here for sure.
Congrats, brother.
Thanks, Chase.
Alex.
Thanks. Yeah, congratulations, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. You touched on it there, but the decision to return to Yamaha, to this time be with Star Racing in the Premier class. Speak about the pathway to this championship over the course of the last couple of years, and just what that means to you.
Yeah, man, it's I'm thankful, right? I'm glad I could give it back to Yamaha because they wasted a lot of money on me early in my career, so or 450 career anyway. So it just feels good, like you said, to be able to switch to the team that I always envisioned myself on eventually, you know, when they got to the 450 level and win the biggest championship you could, and just the way we did it. And, you know, like you said, you have so many good and bad years, but like you said, the last time with Yamaha was was not great for any of us. So to do it with Star, to do it with Yamaha, to repay them those favors that I needed to deliver, and it feels really nice. And like I said, I had great times with KTM and those boys, and we did a lot of great things. But these guys are like my family, and you know, it feels nice. We're all on the same page. They understand me. You know, we're through the ups and downs together, and they know where to push me. They know where to not, and it just feels nice. I can really be myself and say what I want, and they're gonna fire right back and tell me and put me in my place. So super special. I mean, Bobby, like I said, I call him my grandpa. So it's really special, man. It's super, super special.
Adam.
Adam from Track Talkers. If there's one thing I've learned about dirt bikes is there is a lot of struggles behind the scenes that nobody will ever know about, between like being pissed off at your teammate, the team, the bike setup, being hurt. There's so many things that go on behind the scenes to get this done, and you got it done at the highest level. Can you take us through, now that you finally have that feeling of relief, take us through some of those things that really made this championship so sweet?
Well, I think, yeah, just the ups and downs. I know it's cliche to say, but like you said, you hit it nail on the head. Injuries, and just, you know, last year racing, I was in pain for 9 months with my thumb. You know, it just never healed. It never got better. I'd crashed and re-hurt it, and it makes you tough, right? That's the bottom line, and it's easy to roll over. It's easy to, you know, I've won too. I've made a lot of money. I do this because I absolutely love it, and this is what I chase. And so to be able to do it in that way is awesome. And, you know, when we have these boot camps and we do all these things, you're giving it your absolute all, right? And from diet to sleep to, you know, hadn't had a sip of alcohol in a year, like just things like that you give up to chase your dreams is, it's special. And, you know, I think even for me, like I alluded to, in December, it was rough. I was sitting there with an injury and was running on the beach with my agent right there, and we were having a chat while we were running on the beach and just going, do you race or do you not race? And said, F it, let's race. Like if it don't work, we'll get surgery and call it. So, you know, just stuff like that, right? That you don't think about. I didn't think about an hour ago, but when I'm sitting here in this chair going like, man, there's so many things that have to go right, and we did it. We're 3-time champ.
Let's go.
Cooper, congratulations and thank you. Cooper Webb, the 3-time champ.
Let's go, Cooper!
Last but certainly not least, we'll hear from our top 3, including our 2 champions. Hayden Deegan, your 250 West champion and winner of the Dave Coombs Senior East-West Showdown. Julian Beaumer, runner-up in the race. And Tom Vial, now your 2-time 250 East champion. For the interest of everyone's time, we're going to go ahead and get started with our 2-time East Coast champion. This is Tom Vial. And of course, excited to hear from Julian Beaumer as well. But Tom, we'll start with you. A 2-time world champ, 2-time Supercross champ. What message do you hope that this championship sends?
I still can't believe it, to be honest. That was a wild night. I actually had a great start. I was being Hayden for a couple laps, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling good. Start to do a couple mistakes, and set energy got me, and I was like maybe 5 seconds behind them. And when I saw them like in the corner, like both down, I couldn't believe it. I still can't. Like it was insane. And I set was actually over the berm, and Energy was on top of the burn, and I was like, this is crazy. And I think it was only like 4 or 5 laps to go. And yeah, just did it. It was pretty crazy.
You were incredible tonight. Congratulations on the championship. And Hayden Deegan, race winner and Super 50 West champ. Deegan, you did as you said you were going to do. You came out here, you didn't just win, but you dominated. How satisfying is it to end your Supercross season like this?
Yeah, I needed this. I just needed a statement ride like this, especially in the East-West showdown. It feels really good. This is where I should have been at the whole season, and unfortunately we tapped it at the end, but we still won the championship, so that's all that matters. Yeah, hopefully we can carry it in the outdoors.
Congratulations. We'll open it up to questions from the media. Scott.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now. Julian, were team tactics discussed beforehand? Because it seemed like you did ride quite aggressively with Seth.
No team tactics. I mean, we're racing dirt bikes. I'm fighting for position just as much as everyone else. He got into me in the first turn, so no team tactics. I was racing my own race.
Dan.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports for Tom. At what point in the lap that RJ and Seth went down, were you aware that they were down? Did that just happen when you came up on them and could see them on the ground? And then what went through your mind as you passed them? Was there any tendency to tighten up at that point?
No, I think it was, I'm not sure, 4 or 5 laps to go. That's when they went down. I didn't know. I came to the corner. They were both, Seth was over the berm and AJ was on top of the berm, and I couldn't believe it. It was pretty crazy. I think I was like 4 or 5 seconds behind them. And I was trying to stay there because I knew it was 3 or 4 laps to go, and I knew AJ was going to try to do something to Seth. So that was my only hope and my only chance because I was a little farther. And when I came to the corner and they were both down, I was like, I still can't believe it though. And but yeah, I think the whole season has been a lot of good rider. I feel like the speed was pretty good from everyone in the championships, and a lot of up and down. And we lost a lot of points for myself in Foxborough in the mud. So yeah, everyone had like some up and down, and we try to I try to stay steady the whole season, and that's pay off at the end.
Michael.
Thanks, Haley. Michael Antonovich with Course Heading. This will be for you, Hayden. Can you talk about your riding today, just technique? Watching you was a blast. You seemed like you were bouncing around through everything. All the TV cameras caught that little pocket into the corner, some big quads. But then even watching your bike, like, you looked like you were riding a 20-inch BMX bike out there. So how was that, and especially at the altitude?
Yeah, I know. Today felt good. It was a little hard. It was a little harder to breathe for some reason in Colorado. I was actually gasping for air in that heat race. I let Juju have that one. But yeah, bike skills felt pretty good today. I mean, I just felt loose. Championship was over. I mean, I even told my dad, I'm like, dude, it is hard when I'm not racing for anything. Like, I had to self-motivate myself pretty hard before that main event to get it done. And I mean, I did, but yeah, I just felt loose today because I mean, I don't really have much on the line.
Alex.
Yeah, thanks. Congratulations, Tom. You're no stranger to winning championships, but tonight was different in sense of the way that this main event played out. So what was it like, that emotion, when you crossed the finish and met with the team and obviously stood on the podium to collect the trophy? How much different was that this time around? And obviously, yeah, well-deserved regardless.
I mean, that's, like I said before, that's why I came here to the US to ride Supercross. And, I mean, to achieve 2 Supercross titles is insane. I would have never believed it before I came. And, I mean, that was the goal, to win at least once. And we did it 2 in a row. The second one is always pretty hard. I won my first world title in 2020, and I missed the one in 2021. I couldn't make it 2 in a row, and I won in 2022. But yeah, it's a lot of pressure all winter because you have that number one, and you have to make it happen. And it's been tough all year, but all season. But yeah, we made it happen. Obviously, Seth was really fast in that main event. He was riding good. But like I said before, everyone had a lot of up and downs.
Jace.
Tom, Jason, Gypsy Tales, mate, congratulations. You've been riding 450s outdoor. I believe that winning this championship means that you do have to now go up to the 450 class. As you look forward into the future, what do you make of the transition that you're going to have to make into the 450 class? And you've seen some guys recently, Hunter Lawrence, Jacob. There's guys that have found a lot of success in that class. I guess maybe just a little bit of your thoughts around making that jump next year.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I've been riding the 450 a little bit this year when I was able to ride outdoor, and I think that was the plan anyway, to move next summer for the 450 outdoor. I was still not sure, was depending on the championship, if I was staying 250 for the Supercross or not, but now, I mean, I have to. I've been in 250 for a long time. Like, my first pro year was 19, so I've been like maybe 5 or 6 years that I'm pro in 250, so I feel like that's a new challenge. I'm going to work pretty hard this winter to get on the 450, and it's something new, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Are you locked in at KTM for the 450?
It's not done yet.
We're going to welcome our online media into the conversation, starting with Jamie.
Jamie Guido, Vital Mix. Julian Beaumer, now that this Supercross season is over, what's your biggest takeaway? What's the biggest lesson you learned that you can use for next year, 2026?
Just consistency. I had that little slump in the middle of the season, and I lost a lot of points. So just the consistency I need to work on, and my riding came back these last 2 rounds. So I'm happy with my riding. I just need to bring that consistency.
Thanks.
Brent.
Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. My question's for Hayden. Hayden, this last round, you wrapped up the championship last round. Coming into this weekend, you had no pressure on yourself, and the other guys on the East Coast had a lot of pressure on them to pull off the championship. Just talk about racing today and just the lack of nerves and maybe pressure on yourself. You could just ride more free, knowing that you really didn't have anything to lose.
Yeah, it was good. I knew those boys were going to go at it, so I was like, I need to just get a start and ride my own race, and I'm pretty sure I could gap them. So that's what I did. Pulled the whole shot, flat tracked the landing of the jump, which was pretty cool. And, yeah, I mean, I hit a couple lines that no one else was hitting, and I actually OJ'd at one lap, and it hurt pretty bad, but I was like, whatever. But, yeah, just rode good overall, and, yeah, I got the dub.
Ryan.
Thanks. Ryan Niston with Cycling News for Julian. Can you take us through the opening stages of that race being behind Tom? Was there any idea of like maybe not passing him and knowing he was going for the title?
No, I mean, obviously, I had a race to race, and obviously, I mean, he's my teammate. I'm not gonna ride him dirty for sure. But no, when I was behind him, I knew I was gonna pass and try to just ride my own race. Obviously, he's fighting for a championship, and I didn't want to do anything to jeopardize that. So, yeah, I was careful around him, but no thoughts of sitting behind him.
Mitch.
Mitch from Racer X. Hey, Tom, this one's for you. Congrats on the title. Obviously, last year you came up short of the Pro Motocross Championship. What can you do differently knowing last year you came off the title in the Pro Motocross? You know, what are you going to do differently this year so you can hopefully get that Pro Motocross title in your last 250 season outdoors?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So it's going to be my last outdoor season. I'm pretty excited to race again, Aiden. I feel like it's been good the last couple of years, obviously in outdoor, and I've been riding a lot of guys in Europe. All the guys in Europe are in 250 right now, and the speed that we have in outdoor is pretty high. And I'm feeling better. The team and I have been working a little bit on the bike, so I'm pretty excited. Like I said, it's going to be my last outdoor 250 season, so I'm really looking forward to be in 2 weeks in Palo.
I have some more time for questions from the room. Let's actually hear from Whiskey Throttle.
Jeff with Whiskey Throttle Media. This is for Hayden. I want to know what you feel is your biggest point of growth for yourself in this season.
Yeah, I think it was just consistent. I've been on the box or even winning the last 9 of 10 rounds. Like, I was never off. It was just pretty amazing, and that's, I think, how I won this championship. I mean, obviously, it could have won a different way as well and win it, but consistency helped a lot, and just building in the whoops too. I mean, I got to get better at those, and I feel like even this last round, every lap I blitzed him. Bobby was on me about that. He said, you might as well just not even race if you're not going to blitz the whoops, pretty much. So I just had to blitz him every lap, and we got the dub.
Dan.
One more for Tom. Dan again from NBC. On that last lap, those last 2 corners, you seem to be pretty cautious. Did anything happen? Was that just an extra bit of caution to make sure that nothing did happen in those last 2 turns? And were you aware of how close Seth was?
So when I passed both of them in the corner, Seth was out of the track, and so I did the next lap, and I watched behind me, and I saw Seth was right there. I couldn't believe it. I was like, maybe he's a lap down, but no, I saw my pit board, like I had 1.5 or 2 seconds, and I had still 3 laps to go. So that was pretty crazy, and I actually did my best, maybe 3 last lap. I was pretty good in the whoops, and I just went inside the last 2 corners, so I knew he couldn't pass me, and yeah, I gave everything I had the last 2 laps actually.
Jace.
This is for Juju and Hayden. You guys gave us a pretty cool rivalry this year. I personally spoke about it a bunch coming into this season. Like, is someone kind of going to step up to Deegs and like kind of match a bit of the talking and kind of get into a bit of the back and forth with him? Juju, you were kind of the guy that did that, especially at the start of the season. Some amazing form. You guys went at it at Seattle. It kind of was this rivalry that we were kind of asking for. Now that it's all said and done, was it a fun experience for you both to kind of go through? Hayden, you've never really had anyone that kind of stepped up in that way, but what was it like for you guys, and maybe even just some of the extra attention that brought to the 250 class?
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I had a good start to the season, but he kicked my ass for like 6 rounds. So, no, it was fun though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun, but I just wanted to win. So I was like, if I can try and mentally break this kid, that's the way I'm gonna do it. And I did it. So I was like, how can I mentally break him? And I was just riding him dirty a couple rounds and talk a little bit. He definitely got a little bit of clout off it. His follower count went up crazy, but it is what it is. He rode good this season too, and there's definitely some good battles.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's all we have time for today. Hayden Deegan, your 250 West champ, Julian Beaumer, and Tom Vial, your 2-time East Division champion. Thank you all so much to all of our media for all of your hard work this season, telling our sports stories. We're ready to take it outdoors in 2 weeks at Fox Raceway. Thank you, everyone.